So D, F, and A walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve minors." So F leaves and D and A have a fifth between them. Now, if you're done groaning, I'd like to talk to you guys about the minor scale and its 3 different variations. So as we've discussed before, scales have a very, certain quality to them. It's the relationship between notes, and that relationship between the notes and the distances between them gives a certain emotive context. And for the longest time, basically since slightly before tonal harmony showed up in the late 1600s, early 1700s, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. We've had this concept called the minor scale, right? And it sounds like this. And it's got a couple of variations. The 6th degree and the 7th degree can shift depending on what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish and what the context is. And each of those, variations is noteworthy in that they'll show up and they've got very specific purposes in functional harmony and tonal music, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So the first variation is the natural minor scale, or the Aeolian mode, the 6th mode off of the major scale, and you've basically got 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, and 1 again. It's also known as the storyteller's minor scale because it's very dramatic. And this is the minor scale that you've probably heard the most. When you're listening to a pop song in minor, or an old classical tune that's got like a minor feel to it, it's pulling mostly from the natural minor scale. Followed by that, we've got the harmonic minor, which is the natural minor with a raised 7th. So 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, natural 7, and 1. You hear this a lot in like Yngwie Malmsteen, or Spanish guitar, or it's predominantly used because that leading tone leads so strongly back to the 1 that if you are, let's say we're in a minor key right here, and you want to do the 5 chord, that's the 1, you want to do the 5 chord, what leads stronger to your ear? Is it this? Or is it this? It's the major 5. And the major 5 does not occur in the natural minor scale because of the leading tone. And so you have to raise the 7th back to a natural 7 in order to get that major 5. And that's why we call it the harmonic minor scale, because it's usually used in the context of harmony or chords, right? So again, that's 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, natural 7, and 1. And the really striking thing about it is this augmented second between the flat 6 and the natural 7th. And finally we have the melodic minor scale. 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, natural 6, natural 7, 1. And when the harmonic minor scale first popped up in in functional harmony, composers didn't like that augmented 7th. They thought that it was unmusical, that kind of like that augmented sound there. They felt was unmusical, and so in order to solve that, they raised the 6th degree to give it a little bit more of a smooth quality. And as was very common in the time, when they would go ascending through the scale, you would raise the 6th and the 7th, and then descending you would return to the natural minor scale. So it would often sound like this. And we'll explore that in our examples in a little bit. So our first example today in D minor is He Was a Pirate from the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And this is a good example of natural minor. And I want you to really focus on the difference between the C leading back to the D. That flat 7 going back to 1. You can really notice the natural minor sound as we traverse, both in the melody and in the chord changes from a C natural back to a D. Now for the harmonic minor example, we're going to be looking at the chorus of Fly Me to the Moon, just the very beginning part. And it's really only in one part, and you'll hear it and I'll point it out. So the whole thing is doing this cycle, 1, and then like a 2-5-1 cycle, right? It starts out on A minor, which is the 2 of G, 2, 5, 1, and this becomes 2, 5, 1, and then 2, 5, 1, back to A, right? And in the melody, we're kind of outlining that, each strong note of the melody is landing on a strong chord tone. And then when we get to this E here, it's not an E minor, which would be natural minor. It's an E major, or really, an E altered 7. Something like that, something funky like that if you really want to jazz it up, but at its core, it's an E major. Pulling from the harmonic minor, the raised 7th, and then back to A minor. Now, of course, as times changed, the harmonic minor wasn't strictly, an effect anymore. A lot of modern bands and composers will write purely out of the harmonic minor scale, or they'll use it as, more of an effect rather than just we need a leading tone chord to get us back to the 1. And the final example for this video, for the melodic minor, is Bach's Bourrée in E minor, and the melody goes like this. And you can notice it's harmonic minor, melodic minor. And then, as was common in that fashion, going up it's the melodic, and then going back down it's the natural minor. And then we just stay in the minor scale. Again, you can hear with the melody that raised 6th and 7th, and then, as I said, as was common for the time, it descends back into the natural minor. So, try these out. Got exercises for them, and all the examples are in the exercises, as well as the root position scale shapes for each minor scale. Try them out. Listen to them, really explore them, and yeah, hopefully this gives you a broader understanding of the minor scales, and you'll take them and use them in your own music. So cool. Keep exploring.